One of the hardest things to do when we're creating copy or content or even an elevator pitch is try to figure out how to talk about what we do without sounding stilted or awkward or like we're chewing cardboard. So I developed this super quick process that I would give to groups anytime I had a really quick speaking gig, like a networking event or something like that. If I just had like 10 minutes to talk to a group, these are the questions that I went with, and it was always super powerful. I got incredible feedback, and so I want to share them with you. Okay, so this is the presentation. I'm going to have these slides linked down in the description. This is just a quick letter from me, what to expect, and then I just talk about how to use this process. So why does this process work? These questions are so effective and so transformational because rather than focus on the way you want to talk about your work, we're actually going to get information from other people, and that's how we're going to get the exact verbiage to use that will resonate with your right people. When people hear themselves reflected back to them, that's what makes such an impact in copy. So that's what we're going to look at. Okay. So the first question is, what do your customers always thank you for? What do they write in their testimonials to you? Now for this, I am not going to ask you to rely on your memory because memories are faulty. Go back and actually look at testimonials that people have written to you, because remember, the things that come the most easily to us are the things that we typically dismiss because they came easy. We're like, everybody can do this, right? No, they really can't. So read your testimonials to get some actual clear language that people say over and over again. Are they always complimenting your customer service, your process? What are they always saying about your product? What are the words and phrases that keep coming up over and over again? And if you don't have a lot of testimonials for your work, I have a freebie on that. So check out my resources page. I've got a lot of stuff on that. Second question. What do friends and colleagues repeatedly come to you for? If people are always like, oh, she's amazing at organization, just ask her. Or, oh, she always knows all of the tech details, oh, get that from her. Or, she always has this knack for like how things should be laid out or where they should go in the room or whatever. Pay attention to what people always say about you, because here's the thing. If you've got a knack for interior design, but you're like, let's say you're a therapist, right? You're a therapist maybe for couples or something, but you've just kind of got a knack for interior design, and you notice that a lot of your friends and family come to you and are like, hey, where should I put this? Or I was going to put the couch over here. What do you think? Keep in mind that one of the things that your clients probably appreciate about you is the way your office feels to them when they walk in the door. So your knack for creating a friendly, open, welcoming space is actually a part of your USP. If that's actually something you can talk about in your copy, in your content, in your social media content, about how you're good at creating a welcoming environment. And likely that's something that's echoed in your testimonial. So go back and check those too. Okay, so that's question 2. Question 3, what do you give away for free just because you're happy to do it? Oh, this question, this question. Anything that you would give away for free is almost always something you should be charging for, because it probably includes something that is a part of your genius. You're probably really amazingly good at this, and it's something people should be paying you for anyway. And it's probably just a very natural part of what you're already doing. But again, looking at this can help you identify, oh yeah, I actually do bring that to the table. Oh yeah, people actually do comment on that all the time. That's something that you're offering. That's something that's a part of why people should choose you over your competition. So that's question 3. Question 4, what do your competitors do that annoys you? Or what is something that bothers you in your industry? And then how do you address that in your biz? So this is a great question, because anytime you get kind of annoyed or ticked off about something, it points to a value of yours that's getting stepped on. So there's something in there that's really important to you that you really value, whether that's transparency in advertising. And every time you see somebody like maybe being a little manipulative or misleading in their advertising, you get all pissed off. It's like, okay, hey, you value integrity, or you value transparency, or you value who knows what it is, putting the client first or whatever. But anytime you see something that you're kind of like, ugh, even if it's another industry, like maybe you're an acupuncturist, but there's something about Western medicine that really annoys you, that's good information. There's something in there that's really important to you that points to something that you're bringing. And anything that's a value of yours is also a value of your right people. The people who love you, who are going to refer more people to you, the people who are going to help you build your business. The values that you have, they match your ideal clients. So if you, again, identifying those gives you a great insight into how to write your copy and tweak your copy, the words and phrases you should be including. So, okay, yeah, these things give you big neon cues to the things that matter to you and the things that also matter to your ideal clients. And so now let's take a quick moment of reflection. We're going to go through these. So are there words or qualities in your copy or marketing materials that describe your work? Do they already exist in your copy? If not, you're going to want to add those. Or do they point to a bigger service or quality you want to add? Maybe you want to restructure your business a little bit. Maybe there's actually even something in your business that you're like, man, I don't do enough of this. Man, I knew I wanted to offer this service in this way, or switch up this thing that I'm doing. Thinking through the answers to these questions might point to a pivot that you actually want to make. Could any of these answers be a theme for your content, blog posts, podcasts, social media posts? Oh my gosh, this is the answers to these questions, like mine them for content. There's such a great place to look for your creative content. And were there any surprises? Anything that kind of bowled you over? Anything that like stood out to you? Okay, so those are the first 4 questions. Now there's 2 more questions left. Those first 4 are the sort of ideation questions. The next 2 are implementation. So now we're going to take some action actually on your website. So make a note of the new words and phrases you want to bring into your marketing more. Take a look at your website. Can you put any of them on your homepage? Do any of them belong in tagline, copy, calls to actions? How about your about page? Did you get an idea for a value of yours that you can expand on there? Remember, your about page does more selling than almost any other page on your website, and people always skip over it because they're like, oh, I'm just going to put my bio on there. And you miss such an opportunity to connect with your right people, because on your about page, that's where you can talk about your passion, how you got started doing this, what's important to you about it. That's the stuff that when your right people read it, it's just going to create a safe container for them. That's where they're going to fall in love with you. That's what's going to sell you. How about your services? Are you missing an opportunity to better explain the benefit of what you do? And revisit the rest of your pages, including your blog. Where can you clarify your brand even more with what you've learned about yourself? Okay, there's that question. And last thing is taking action on social. So similar things, look over all your social media accounts. What words and phrases can you use to inspire new content? Values are awesome topics to write blog posts about. You could write a blog post about every value and get so much good stuff. A description of how one of these things benefited a client, one of these qualities benefited a client, or several. Case study where you can emphasize something that the client really appreciated about you. Story about how you got your start that underlines these things. This is how to use the answers you got from the first 4 to really make your site a selling machine, because it's going to convey more of what you're already doing and who you are and what's awesome about it. So, okay. And I have this fun. This is ridiculous. So this is a silly exercise, but I did it years ago in a networking event, and it was just so wild that now I do it too. I used to do it at networking events when I was a speaker. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. So right now, get out your phone, text 5 people who know you, and ask them to send you 3 words that describe you. That's it. Just 5 people who know you, ask them to send 3 words. And same thing as all the rest of this. Just notice what they say. Were there any surprises? Did you see certain words over and over again? Like what strikes you there as something that you may want to include? Almost everybody who did this was like, oh my gosh, this was so cool, so sweet. And it's just a nice thing to do. Let the people who love you up a little bit. So anyway, have fun with that. And so thank you. Thank you so much for listening. And I hope you enjoyed the process. And let me know if you do it, if you had any interesting results, and what else I can do to help you.